Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am going to do a paper version of the unicorn cake. Earlier on in the week I made a memory foam version and a lot of people wanted to see the paper one too, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that one today. So to start off with, I took an A4 piece of paper and I just rolled it on itself and just taped it down into a cylinder like shape. Once taped down, I then cut it to the size that I wanted it to be, and this took a few little cuts because I was a bit indecisive at how tall I wanted the unicorn cake to be. Once fully happy with the size, I then went ahead with my gold marker pen and just drew out two golden eyes. I used a pen by Rust-Oleum, which is actually a gold leafing pen, so this turns out to be nice and metallic-y, but you can use whatever colour pen that you want. I then went ahead with a felt tip pen, which was one of the Crayola super tips, and with a pink I just drew on some blush either side of the eyes. What I then did was took this cylinder-like shape and popped it down onto another white piece of paper, and I just took a fine liner pen and just drew around the inner circle of this. I did a really rough kind of drawing of this and just kind of roughly drew it out. I did actually make it a little bit bigger so that I was able to make little slits on. You will also want to make sure that your circle is cut out about a centimetre bigger than the actual circle. You'll then want to fold up these little snips after you cut them and just fold them at about a 90-degree angle. This will allow you to sellotape this onto the cylinder shape. So what you then want to do is take the original shape and pop all the little slit bits inside. You'll then want to tape these on the inside so that you're left with a nice neat edge on the outer side. This can be a little bit fiddly, but once you get the hang of just a few, the rest are really easy to do. You could also glue these little bits in place, it might be easier, but I just had tape so I used that. Once the bottom bit was fully in place, I then just went and secured this on the outside with more tape. I made sure to put the whole of the bottom in tape, including all the edges, to make sure it was 100% secure. Once the bottom was fully taped, I then went ahead and covered the rest of that little cup-like shape in tape also. I just had long strips of this going right across from the bottom up to the top and just folded it inside. Once your shape is fully covered in tape all the way around and on the bottom, you'll then want to stuff this up. So what I did was took a grip seal bag, you know, one of those bags that have that airtight kind of grip along the top, and I just stuffed it up with some toy stuffing. What I then did was sealed it completely up with the little gripper thing at the top, and I then put it inside that paper cut bit that we just made. What I then did to fit it all down in was I stabbed loads of holes in it, and this will help with the slow risingness of it. Once done, I then turned this upside down onto another piece of paper and just drew around this shape again. What I then did was cut around this, and this time I only left little bits on this extra to make little tabs again. You'll see in a second what I mean by I cut around the circle with little bits remaining. Once this shape was cut, I then folded up the little tabs like before, and this would help me secure this to the unicorn shape. I then put this on almost like a lid, and I taped the little, I don't know what to call these bits. I'm going to call them tabs just because it's easier. So I just kind of taped these tab bits to the inside. I also then took tape around all the outer bits also and just made sure it was fully secure all the way around. So basically I just did exactly what I did on the bottom and covered the whole of the top part in tape. Once completely taped up, we was then left with the basic unicorn shape, and what I then did was decided to decorate the top. So to start off with, I needed to make the unicorn horn, and I just kind of cut out a really wide triangle shape and rolled this up kind of on my finger. I then taped this into place into a cone-like shape. What I then did was put a little cone on my finger and just coloured it in with the same gold marker pen that I used for the eyes. I then completely covered this shape in tape again to make it nice and shiny, and then filled it up with a bit of toy stuffing and just stuck it to the unicorn's head. Once the horn was stuck to the head, I then moved on and made some ears. So to do this, I took a little piece of white paper again and just drew out the inner ear part with my gold marker. What I then did was cut this bit loosely out and just covered the whole thing in tape again.
So what I then did was cut around each ear, and I basically just left a white edge around each ear to act as the outer ear part, if you get what I mean. And I then folded a little tab on the bottom of each one. I then taped this down onto the top of the unicorn using this little tab, and you can see here that I kind of readjusted it, and to do this you just need to cut the tape and stick it down. It really is that simple when using tape.
So next I decided my unicorn needed some flowers, and to do this I just kind of took my felt tip pens and drew out some circle shapes. And what I did was really just went in and out, back in with darker and lighter coloured pinks until I was happy with the design. I basically just did pink circles with some swirls and stuff around to give a flowery type effect. I then cut this shape out with my scissors and taped it in place where I wanted it to be on the unicorn. I was really happy with how this turned out, so I actually made one for the back as well. I did it in the exact same way and basically just did it in a reverse L shape.
Once I had this shape, I just basically taped this around the back of the unicorn, and I just folded it a little bit so it went over the edge of the cake. I then fully taped this down like I did on the piece on the front, and I just made it kind of go around the unicorn a bit more so I could kind of see it from the front as well. Once all the decorating was done, my squishy was then complete. So now's the part of the video where you watch me basically destroy this beautiful, most perfect paper squishy ever, because I just basically squeezed the living daylights out of it basically. I went all in, and because a lot of people when they make paper squishies, they don't really squish it like all the way, if you know what I mean. Like when it comes to 3D paper squishies, they don't always like go back to their perfect shape. Like the paper does crinkle a little bit, but they are super fun, and that's why I like making them. So I'm actually really super happy with how this paper squishy turned out. This is like the first 3D one that I've made on my channel, and to be honest it is really easy to pull back into shape if you want to. I actually have mine on my shelf and it looks pretty much the same, just with a few little crinkles at the top. But yeah, I really like it. It's really squishy. It is slow rising. Like when you squish the top, it does squish really nicely. Like as you can see here, it does go nice and slow rising. And I think this is because of the combination of that grip seal bag and also the toy stuffing. So it really works well in 3D squishies, and I would recommend it as a filling. Now as you can see here, I like to squish my squishies really hard, and to be honest, this squishy does work really well. It does feel really nice in your hands, and like I said, it does like slow rise back up to a certain point, but obviously as it's paper, the paper doesn't fold back out all the way that you would like it. So yeah, it does have some crinkles. I'll show you here like now, like if you just kind of like pinch these bottom bits and the top bits, it is really easy to get it back into its shape. So this can always be a thing. If this is going to put you off of making paper squishies, then they can always be reshaped, don't worry about that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know a lot of people were disappointed when I did the memory foam version of this. I mean, a lot of people liked it, of course, but I was going to do one of these anyway, but as it was so requested again, I decided that what's better than just chuck it at the end of this week before I do my Easter videos and get that uploaded for you. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, as this little unicorn did take me a little while to do, and I feel like I did it justice by squeezing it and flattening it a lot on camera for you. If you want to stick around for Easter week, that would be fab, as I do have more obviously Easter videos coming. They will be coming from obviously tomorrow or Saturday, and then going all the way through. I'm thinking about maybe stopping on Friday or maybe extending it to Easter Monday. Yeah, I'll be starting it with some squishies as well, obviously, because I love squishies. And yeah, so hopefully if you want to stick around for them, please hit that subscribe button, as I'd love to have you here. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!